How much home can you really afford? Hi, I'm Tanya Kerr with the T. Kerr Property Group, and one of the biggest questions every buyer has is, how much home can I really afford? And I don't mean what the lender tells you. I mean, how much home can you really afford without losing sleep at night or stressing every time a bill shows up? Because listen, buying a home is exciting, but it's also one of the biggest financial decisions of your entire life. So if you do it right, it can change your entire wealth trajectory. But if you overextend, it can hold you back for years. At our team, part of our mission is to help people build wealth through real estate, not just buy houses. And to do that, you have to understand the rules of the game. There's a simple, powerful framework called the 30-30-3 rule. And it came out after the 2008 housing crash, when so many people lost their homes because they bought and overextended themselves beyond their means. The rule is designed to protect you. It gives you a roadmap so that you can buy smart and stay safe despite what the market does. And here's how it works. Rule 1, and this is where the first 30 comes from. Spend no more than 30% of your gross income on your total housing payment. That means mortgage, taxes, insurance, HOA, everything. Rule 2, the second 30. Have 30% of your home's value saved in cash or assets before you buy. 20% for your down payment and 10% as a buffer. And then 3, don't buy a home that costs more than 3 times your annual income. That's it. Simple but powerful. Following all 3 gives you the best financial protection. Even following just 1 or 2 of them can dramatically lower your risk. Now, I wish I could tell you that I followed this rule when I bought my first home, but the truth is, I didn't. Back then, I was an educator working 2 extra jobs just to save enough money to buy a foreclosure. I didn't have the full 20% down payment, and I definitely didn't have a 10% cushion, but I bought real estate anyways. And you know what? That home needed a lot of TLC, but it ended up being one of the best decisions I could have made. It gave me a place to start building equity, and it taught me what's possible when you stretch smart, not reckless. The truth of the matter is, had I waited until I could have saved 30%, I probably would have been priced out of the market. So I get it, and I want you to hear me loud and clear. Sometimes you have to take a leap a little bit early. But as I've grown, and as I've built wealth through real estate, I've learned to take fewer risks and protect what I've built. And I follow the 30-30-3 rule. And that's what this conversation is about, knowing when to stretch and knowing when to pause. So let's break this down. Step 1, spend no more than 30% of your gross income on your household payment. So if your household earns $100,000 a year, keep your total housing cost, that is mortgage, taxes, and insurance, under about $2,500 a month. Now I know that prices are increasing, so have interest rates, and it's harder and harder to do. But this is your breathing room rule. It keeps your life flexible and your finances healthy. So let's get into some data. Right now, the long-term affordability trend line in the US is about 27%, but we're currently sitting at around 30%, which means, yes, things are tight, but not disastrous. Because if you go back and look into 1981, the affordability hit 49%. That's right, just half of your income was used for your house. Next up, the savings rule. Aim to have 30% of your target's home value in cash or semi-liquid assets. That's 20% for your down payment and 10% as your emergency buffer. For example, if you're buying a home that is $400,000, that's $80,000 down and $40,000 set aside, $120,000 total. Now, if that sounds impossible, don't panic. It just means you're going to adjust your timeline and or your price point. Or maybe you'll find a fixer-upper like I did. That lets you build some sweat equity while the market grows. Patience is a virtue, and sometimes you have to remember you may not buy the house you love right now, but you can turn it into a house that you love in the future. Now the 3 times rule. This one's quick. Your home price should be around 3 times your annual income. For example, if your household income is $120,000, your home price should land somewhere around $360,000. It keeps that overall debt manageable and your lifestyle intact. Could you stretch to 4 or 5 times? Absolutely, as long as you know what you're doing. More debt means less flexibility, and a bigger home often means bigger costs. Let's talk about perspective. A 30-year mortgage is one of the greatest hedges against inflation that there is. Your payment stays the same for 30 years while your income and cost of everything else rises. Remember, over time, your home becomes more affordable, not less. It's about playing the long game. And there are very few places where you can have a one-way renegotiation on interest rates, but mortgage is one of the few places that happens. Don't get caught up trying to time the market. Get focused on time in the market, and that's where wealth is built. Before you start house shopping, get your foundation solid. Here are some helpful rules. Keep your debt to income ratio under 43%. Have 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved up. Keep your credit utilization low. And use trusted resources like mortgagedaily.com or Investopedia's calculator to run your numbers. When you know your numbers, you can make confident moves, not emotional ones. The 30-33 rule isn't about restriction. It's about freedom. It helps you buy the right home, not just any home. And whether you're buying your first place or protecting the assets you've already built, I promise you, the discipline is worth it. Now, as a side note, in the Gary Keller Mastermind last week, he said that his dad gave him the advice to buy as much home as he possibly could when he was young so that he could grow into it. If you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button and share this video with someone who is thinking about buying a home and probably wondering how much they can afford. And of course, if you're ready to take the next step, reach out to T. Kerr Property Group and the Russ Phillips team. We've helped thousands of clients make smart, life-changing real estate decisions, and we'd love to help you do the same.